Alright, what's going on, guys? So it's the week after our monthly St. Louis Video Gamers meetup. This time it is at the new Game Trader 2. Now this is in the same spot as the old Game Trader that was run by Brian at Hawk's Nest Plaza out in St. Charles. As you can see, it's kind of got the Street Fighter 2 motif going there. I really like that, and that's cool. And everyone who was there that day got a member tag number and so it's a 1-year membership, 10% off all used games, 10% more on store credit. This feels really good knowing that this is a store. You know, just it seems to me like it's going to be a nice central hub for game trading in St. Louis. You know, you got your other places like you got Jason's Trading Games down in Gravois. You got Bodocks like down the south edge of St. Louis City, and then you used to have Game Trader way out in St. Charles. There's a few more stores around, but nothing really sticks around that long. They pop up, they go. Game Trader was around for 15 years though. So yeah, like really excited to have that place open back up. No humidity's going to be controlled. There's going to be no cigarette smoking in there. It's going to be a nice place to find your games and, you know, to try to trade your games at. So really excited. All right, so what did I get there from the trades? I traded with 3 people primarily. The first person I traded with was Abe, and I got 5 NES games I needed and a couple Super Nintendo games that I wanted from him. So he had looked at my list the evening before the meetup. I had printed my list up, and a couple people helped me knock some. Alex helped me, and a couple other people helped me knock a lot of games off there that really I don't want right away. They're PAL games or Australian games that I'm really not interested in yet. I'll pick up California Raisins, I'll pick up Little Red Hood eventually, but I remove them from the list for now because I'm not specifically hunting for them. Those prices aren't moving on those games. They're not going up. If anything, Little Red Hood's going to go down in price. That's just my opinion. Probably not, but still, those games I'll get in the future. So the games that I got from Abe were, first one was Silent Assault. Now, I've never played this game before, and when I popped it in, the first thing that came to mind was Russian Attack. So it is gameplay very similar to Russian Attack, except a little bit better scenery and a little bit better graphics, I want to say, than Russian Attack. Russian Attack, I don't know. I have memories of, you know, one color tone background, and then when you're switching through the stages, all the stages seem the same, just with different color palettes. But Silent Assault's kind of similar to that, except you go through jungles and some other things, so it's not all baby blue and tan backgrounds. This game's in the teens now. It's not one of the high-priced Color Dreams games, but it's getting up there. I have a feeling this one might creep up into the 30s, get near 40 soon, but for now it's still hanging around 15, 20. All right, these 3 games he pretty much just tossed me since we were dealing with some higher-priced games. So the first one was Sesame Street Countdown. I have one more Sesame Street game to go. That's ABC 123. I also got John Elway's Quarterback Challenge. Oops. And then I got Bases Loaded 2, the second season. I do have many copies of this. None of them work, so I finally got a working copy of Bases Loaded 2. I also got a copy of RBI Baseball from Abe, but for some reason I had erased the number 3 from my list. So I actually needed a copy of RBI Baseball 3, and still do, but I did get a second copy of RBI Baseball from him. It's already put away in my drawer, though. And last of the NES games I got from Abe was a game that, yeah, I really wanted to knock this game off the list, just being a rare game, and being a Tecmo game, and that's Tecmo Cup Soccer. I've watched many videos of this game, looking it up, you know, before I planned to buy it, and I never got around to buying it. This game's always sat around high 20s, 30s, but right now, if you really just tried to go out and buy one and just didn't see one in the 30s, you might see this game in the 40s, high 40s, 50s, high 50s, on eBay. It's not worth that much to me. This game's still worth about $30. But as with all the other games that are out there, the ones that are less common and more harder to find, it seems that they've all been bought up, you know. And I'm sure there's a select few people out there who could, like most, you know, collections of things, I'm sure there's a select few people out there who own the majority of these, you know. I mean, there's a couple games that I have, you know, 6, 7, 8 of. I think 8 copies is the most I have of a game. But I know people with dozens of copies of single games. So this is one of those games that you just don't see it often, and it is in limited supplies on eBay now, it seems, along with, you know, games, the other games like that where you know, Wayne's World, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Battletoads vs. Double Dragons. They're so controlled now that even though they're up on eBay for a certain price, that doesn't reflect the true value of it. So, oh yeah, Tecmo Cup Soccer. Just glad to get it out of the way. And watching videos of this, like I was about to say, you'll notice that the gameplay on this is very different from most soccer games. It's not just a top-down soccer game. There's actually different first-person aspects to it. And I don't know how in depth they are, what mechanics are involved, but there are some cool screenshots in this game. So, and once again, it's Tecmo going above and beyond with their games. I want to say there's cutscenes in this or a story, but I might be thinking of a different game. But so don't quote me on that. Also from Abe, I picked up 2 Super Nintendo games, and the first one's Brain Lord. Both of these I was looking at over Christmas time and passed on due to wanting to get other games. I'm not going to bother with the focus there. So I picked up Brain Lord. This is an action RPG, fairly tough. It's from Enix. And, well, what can I say? It's got decent music. It's got decent fighting. I rented this as a youth, and I remember playing it. I don't necessarily remember if I beat it. I believe I did, though. It's just one of those games where there's, you know, you have a set amount of weapons, set amount of shields, and you get them as you progress through the game. And if you like action RPGs, this is a pretty cool game, but don't expect too much depth from it. It is a little bit bland, and it sits around the mid-teens, close to $20 sometimes, but around $15. The other game I got from Abe was Mega Man Soccer, and just like Brain Lord, I wanted to pick this up around Christmas, and I didn't. I rented this game at the same weekend that I rented the 7th Saga back in 93, 94. And I pretty much only played this game. I remember playing the 7th Saga just barely. I played a few minutes into it, but I played this Mega Man Soccer the whole weekend. I really love this game. Haven't played it since, and after popping it in, I realized how kind of washed down it was. It looked like this game was really rushed, didn't have a lot of production to it, and the soundtrack and the OSTs on there are minimal, if best, for a Mega Man game. Probably recycled Mega Man songs. So, yeah, it's fun gameplay, especially if you got some friends or just want a fun soccer game to play. But, yeah, once again, don't expect too much as far as what other Mega Mans bring to the table from Mega Man Soccer. Still, it's definitely a good one to get on the list. It sits around $30 plus. Alright, 2 games I got from a fellow named Martin. I got Wizards and Warriors Part 10, apparently, Fortress of Fear. And I've got Operation Europe. So that's a Tecmo Koi strategy type of game. I'm really into Koi. The fact that Nintendo chose them because of their professionalism and their Dynasty Warriors, IP to make Zelda Hyrule Adventures, I think that was a great idea by Nintendo. Koi really knows how to deliver, and the strategy games are just a really underrated genre in my opinion. Eventually every classic gamer gets to them and finds out how much fun and how many hours you can dump into them. So I am looking at putting some time into Operation Europe. So, and Wizard and Warriors Part 10.